Alright, the stopwatch. According to the directions, we want a large display up top for the number, for our time. And then kind of a phone-friendly layout in which when you hang on the phone, your thumb will reach a start button, a stop button, some kind of a reset button. We also want a memory store button, a memory clear button, and a memory recall button, and a selfie button. A lot of buttons. So I'm going to kind of get this laid out, and then I'll be back to kind of explain what's going on here. Okay, so kind of have a layout figured out here. I have the top zone with a big arrangement for the text, and below that another arrangement, table arrangement. Here I have 3 columns and 2 rows. So I have 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 1 row, 2 rows for my buttons. I'll do a start, a stop, a reset, memory store, memory recall, memory clear, and add one button yet for the selfie button. That's coming up later. I'm going to rename all this stuff. Button 1 is going to be renamed to start. And then I'll rename button 2 as maybe stop. And then I'll rename the rest of those and I'll be right back. Alright, got the buttons kind of laid out. My start, my stop, my reset, memory plus, memory recall, memory minus. I need to make a little bit wider buttons because by default, I think my buttons are set to be, where's my width of the buttons? Automatic. And they kind of shrunk them down a little bit, so I'll have to make them a bit wider. Let me kind of tinker with the, not the height, but the width. I'm going to try some pixels, not knowing. I'll just pick 125, see what happens. I probably couldn't fit 3 that size in that box. What will 100 give me? I'll try them all at 100. So we'll stop with pixels 100, and then reset with pixels 100. And the fun part too is, see below the buttons also kind of follow suit, because in that same column they'll kind of follow. 100 seemed to work. That should be easy to reach with my thumb, but I have some, here's the bottom of my phone, kind of a long space. If I grab this arrangement and I make try to make all my text fill to the bottom. So I'll have to tinker that a little bit. So I'm going to go on to some coding here in just 1 second. Alright, so I just took a little bit of the top arrangement, made it taller to push things further down. I don't know if I can. Let's change the height, make it a bit smaller. And then I can make this one a bit taller. Just to push this thing. That's better. Now it fits down there. Alright, that's good. I'm going to put a label in here. This is going to be my stopwatch time. I don't want it jammed up in the upper left corner. I want everything inside this fit center, fit center. Bring that label. I'm going to rename it. I'll just call this here my stopwatch time. Oops, W-A-T-C-H time. And then I'm going to have this be a lot larger. What does 74 give me? Let's go bold. Whoa. And I'll have this start out with the text. Maybe 0, no. Or how about just 0.0? How about ready? Ready. R-E-A-D-Y. Ready. There we go. And it's ready. Nice. I like that. The coding of it. Let's go to the blocks view. Blocks view. Oops, designer view. Sorry, first here. The timer. The timer is a sensor called a clock. And that packs down here a non-invisible component. And then, okay, the clock's here. Now I gotta get the clock set up. I want the clock to read in tenths of seconds, not in individual seconds. Our interval is done in milliseconds, so 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second. I want to go into tenths, which is a 100 millisecond timer. I want my clock to always be ready to run, always fires, and I have my clock turned off, disabled. I want to have it wait to have it go for it to go. So I want to have fire, disabled, 100 interval. Now I go to the blocks. Okay, so my start button needs some code. When it's clicked, its job is to tell the clock to time. So I want to have the clock interval, here it is, timer enabled. Because back at the other screen, I turned that enable off. So when starts clicked, it's going to tell that clock, hey, you know what? True. Turn the clock on, which is true. And the stop button, same thing. It's going to tell that clock to timer enabled to false. True means go, false means stop. So now when I click these buttons, what will happen? Probably nothing, but once I have the clock set up, it'll run. So now this button tells the clock true, that tells the button clock false. True and false. Those are done. Let's go to the actual clock itself. Clock. There it is. So when the start button tells the clock to do its thing, it's got to know what to do. So this start button says, hey clock, go. This code takes over. So when the clock timer is called upon, what's it going to do? It's going to take the time and start counting. So I got to first get a global variable, and I'll call mine here time. And I want my time to begin at 0. So this clock is going to set the variable called time. It's going to take whatever the current time is, which is 0. It's going to add to it a 0.1. Let's just try doing this step. What if I add 0.1 to that clock? That might do it. So now it's going to start counting in 0.1 increments at the pace of 0.1 seconds. So that 0.1, every 0.1 should work. Back here again. That we don't need right now, I don't think. So this here is going to call, it's mentally counting. Now I want to actually show it. So my stopwatch time, I'm going to have it set the stopwatch time text. Set stopwatch time text to whatever the variable is. I'm going to pause, test it out, and I'll be right back. Okay, it's working, but I'll make a little bit bigger font. This font, I have it at 74, it's a bit small. So I'm going to try a bigger font. The word ready is too big. So let's go a bit smaller. Still a bit too big on my screen. Let's try this one. Okay. So close. There it is. That works for my screen. Got it. What else we need here? I need a reset button. Okay. That one, back to my blocks view. The reset button, all it's going to do is I'm going to do a long click and hold. And it's going to take whatever that time is and set it back to 0. But I want to set the stopwatch time text to the word ready. You get text block, R-E-A-D-Y. Try it out. So hit start, hit stop, reset, start, stop. That's working. All right. So there's part 1 of the video. Part 2 will figure out this memory plus, memory minus, memory recall.